Hello and welcome everybody to another MachoorTV video. Today we're gonna talk about something that is very interesting. It's an advanced technique. Alright, it's a tutorial of Blaz's space trap. It's his signature move. If you have watched Blaz's run in Capcom Cup last month, he was using something like this. He would always go for heavy punch into medium donkey kick. Okay, and it seemed like even though his opponents were like some of the best players or the best players in the world, they could not actually find a solution for this. So today I'm just gonna show you how it's done, why does it even work, and what are the counters. And stick around, and I'm gonna give you at the end of the video a solution or an alternative that is a little bit less difficult to implement and can be a what is it called? It can be like a knowledge check to your opponent, right? It's easier to do. So the entire point of this, or why does it even work and why is it so good, it's because of two things, right? When you press heavy punch like this, look at this, it pushes the opponent away. So this is pushback, right? And when you do donkey kick like this, it also pushes the opponent away, so it's pushback. So when you combine both of them, it gives you more pushback. So when you do this, look at that, it's so far away, right? And this is what you want. Now there is another big part of why this is so amazing. It's because when you do heavy punch into this, there is no gap. This is a complete block string with no gap whatsoever. Look at the block stun over here. There are no gaps compared to like doing something like this, which has, I don't know, you guys can do the math, maybe like 9 frames or 8 frames of gap in between the heavy punch and the heavy Hashogeki, right? So what this means is in between or within these gap or frame gaps, people can DI you, people can perfect parry you, people can mash buttons and it will work. But for example, if I can implement or demonstrate this over here, if I have Ryu even respond with not even the fastest thing, which is a light punch, let's say a medium punch, right? And I do this after one, right? If I do it this way, he's gonna hit me and he gets a counter hit, right? Or if he DIs, or let's just, before we go to DI, let's see this one, the medium punch will not come out, right? It will only come out afterwards. So you get the idea, right? So even if he tries to do drive impact with this, it will work and I get punished, but with this, it doesn't work. You get the idea, right? So they can't even perfect parry you. So this is why this is so good. The third thing why this is so amazing, right? It's because there is a lot of drive meter depletion from this. Like it depletes a lot of drive meter. Look at this. The heavy punch depletes half. Okay, so you just stop this. The heavy punch depletes half, and this one also depletes another half. So you get, a full bar gone from his drive meter, right? So this is so important, and we know that this game is basically a meter management game, right? So when you do this, boom, you try to put the opponent in a situation where he's losing drive meter, even though he's blocking, he's just losing while blocking, right? So if he has like 1 bar, he's now in burnout. So yeah. So the fourth thing why this is so good, it's because of the pushback, as we said before, and because people realize that this is -8. People know that, or if you play against a strong player, they know that the medium donkey kick is -8. -8 is not safe. Look at this, right? It's in red. It's not safe. People can, let's say, if we have Ryu over here respond to the crouching medium kick, which is 8 frames, right? If I do this, he responds back, okay? And if I do this from here, you see that I get punished, right? So you have to space this thing correctly. And people realize that this is -8, so they're gonna attempt to punish it. Every single time they block a crouching or a donkey kick, a medium donkey kick like this, they're gonna try to punish it with an 8-framer, right? Because an 8-framer has long range and it should technically work, right? But punishes are not so simple. It's not just a numbers game, it's also a spacing game. It's a numbers game and a spacing game. So now that we have said that we want him to respond to with crouching medium kick, let's make it 2 hits. And even though I showed you guys in the beginning that it would punish, but look at this right here. Now it whiffs, right? Because of the pushback of the heavy punch and the pushback of the medium down kick, right? And now, as a Ryu player, when you do this, you are literally doing this for two things. You're doing this to get the chip damage, get the drive meter chip, right? And you are waiting for him to respond with a crouching medium kick like this. Exactly like what just happened over there. So then you get a whiff punish, and it should be ready on deck. You are ready with the whiff punish, right? And depending on the situation, you want to use the biggest kind of whiff punish that you want, right? The interesting thing about this is that you can actually see what the opponent actually responds with. You can, if you see that the opponent responds with crouching medium kick every single time, then you can just wait for the punish or wait for the button to come out, and then you can whiff punish it, right? If it's spaced correctly, right? But if I see my opponent, responding with crouching medium punch, for example, right, which is not, it has less range, right? So for example, if I do this and he goes for this, it's not gonna work, right? So what I can do is I can do an immediate button to counter that, like without delaying, because the crouching medium kick is so fast, or the crouching medium punch is so fast, or it's faster in terms of recovery, that if I go visually, if I wait and see it coming out and try to whiff punish it with a heavy punch, it's gonna be too late, right? I'm not gonna be able to whiff punish it. But if I just press a heavy punch immediately after the donkey kick, I might get a whiff punish like this, or I might get even a counter hit if they go for something even heavier. Like for example, if he goes for solar plexus, let's say that he goes for, let's go to unique attacks, and he goes for this one, solar plexus, right? So if this happens, you see this, I get a counter hit. So it does work depending on what the opponent does. Now, if you just press heavy punch immediately and he does go for a crouching medium kick, you might get counter hit, right? So for example, like this, it does still work. It does still, this is so good that it does even work if it's spaced correctly. Even if you just mash heavy punch immediately, it will work on anything basically. And if it's not a punish counter, it's going to be a what is it called, like a counter hit if you go for something that's heavy, right, or slow. Of course, there is a counter for that. People can just walk back, and if you're just mashing heavy punch afterwards immediately like a robot, people can just walk back, wait for you to do the heavy punch, and then they can whiff punish you. For example, if I have Ryu demonstrate this, and then he goes for this, and me as a defending player, sorry, let's try to space this thing correctly. I can just, that's a little bit too close anyways. I'm gonna try to space this as a defending player, and I might do something like this. I might just wait for the heavy punch to come out and do it. So use this at your own risk, right? Either you wanna wait for the button to come out and then you whiff punish it, or you wanna just press a button immediately and then do it. That is up to you, right? You can also opt for the crouching medium punch instead of the heavy punch, right? It would do the same job, but it can be a little bit safer because it cannot be whiff punished. So for example, if I have my opponent do this and I do this over there, I can do something like this, right? And it will still work if they go for something that is slower or whatnot. But it all depends on the spacing, as we said. And yeah, the heavy punch or the crouching medium punch can do the exact same work. But you get a fatter punish with the standing heavy punch. But there is a trade-off where if the opponent catches up to it and they know that you're gonna do it, they can just walk back and wait for it to come out and then you punch. And as we said, crouching medium punch, it is technically not punishable unless the opponent sees the startup and then he presses the buttons. If he sees that you press a button from here and they know it's going to whiff, he's probably going to react to the startup, not to the recovery frames only, and then it becomes a little bit easier to whiff punish with a light kick or something like that. It's another topic to talk about. Anyhow, it is safer to use crouching medium punch than heavy punch, but you get slightly less of a trade for punish. Sometimes what I would do, I would even just buffer it without even dry brush. I'll just buffer this. But you can see that like, if I was spaced correct, if I did not space it correctly and I mashed crouching medium punch afterwards, I get counter hit, right? So I have to space it correctly to get the whiff punish, or wait for the button to come out and then I can whiff punch, right? I think this is a better overall way to play, is to wait for the button to come out, right? Because if you just mash it immediately, you might get caught with a counter hit by the on the starter frames, right? Your hurt buttons might get extended, and then they might catch that and they get a counter hit. So I think from my experience, the better thing to do is to wait for their response and whiff punish that thing. Of course, you have to be good at whiff punishing if you want to do this. You have to be good at spacing if you want to do this. Now, how do you space this correctly, right? Because it's all about spacing. If you do this here, you get punished. So how do you make sure that you get the sweet spot and you make the response whiffs, or you make the response whiff? So basically, the way that I do it, it's completely visually speaking. And this is something that is manually done. Like if you have like an automatic setup to do this, let me know down in the comments. So you see the heavy punch, Ryu's heavy punch, he's wearing a glove, right? He's wearing a different color glove over here because I'm wearing this color. It's brown like his body, but you can still differentiate between his glove and his body. So anyways, you want to make sure that it's blocked by the tip, right? You don't want him to you don't want Ryu to block, or the opponent to have the punch or the glove inside of his body frame, right? Like this. If you cancel it like this from here, this is gonna be punished. If you cancel it from here, this is gonna be punished. If you cancel this from here, also punished. So you want to use the knuckles tip, not here. You want to make sure that the opponent's body does not reach here, does not reach here. You want to make sure that it reaches only here, right? Ryu's glove, right there. See this? This is perfect, right? This is punishable. So you can easily just check Ryu's glove and then use it as a measure to practice this. And the more you practice it, the more you get a feel for it. And you can also use boxes if you. There's a reason why I chose the grid, because you can use the boxes that are on the ground to space it correctly, and then you can get like a better feel in matches. So for example, if I'm going to demonstrate this, I need to be within not 2 boxes, but like 1.75 box. Like for example here, see that you get the right spacing for this. This is something that is very, very nice. If you are able to do this, it will become very, very annoying, and people will not know how to deal with it. They will think that this is something that is broken. And remember, they can't perfect parry you, they can't DI you in between or do anything in between. You have to take this. So if you press it correctly, or if you space it correctly, then it's really nice. So another option to do this is to do it with medium Hashogeki, this one, which is -6 on block instead of -8, right? So it's a less risky. It has less punishable. It's less punishable, and there is a benefit of using Hashogeki because people cannot differentiate between, or the majority of people cannot differentiate between light Hashogeki, medium Hashogeki, heavy. Of course they can, but there's a difference between this and that. And this one is safe. This one is safe, like it's -3 on block. This one is -6 on block. So it's a little bit difficult to realize which one it was. And sometimes, unless you are specifically looking for it, unless you're playing against a character who really knows the matchup and he really is specifically looking for it, when you figure out that, oh shit, this is the medium one, it might be a little bit too late for you to punish, right? And again, they cannot punish you with medium dunking. So if I do this, crouching medium kick will not work. So what do they have? They have even if they go for a 6-framer like this, for example, if they go for a crouching medium punch, it whiffs. Even from closer range, it does whiff. Even from here, Nope, it does connect. So you have to be a little bit, the spacing is a little bit more forgiving. However, if you are not a Ryu player, please close the video right now because these are secrets. These are trade secrets right now. So I'm just gonna give you a solution. To the Ryu players, if you're playing against another Ryu player and you see that he's abusing this, how do you stop it? You stop it with a light kick. So yeah, the light kick is the best option over here, the best punish. So if, for example, if I do it like this, you can see that the light kick actually connects. Yes, it's not a big punish, and if you space it correctly using the spacing method that I showed you with the knuckle, with the glove, it will be safe even if they use the light kick, right? Remember, they have to use something that's 6 frames or lesser, so they cannot use a crouching medium kick or whatever. So the options are limited, and we're talking about Ryu here. Another character cannot punish this. Like some other characters, they don't even have access to like 5 frames that reach this far. For example, let's say Rashid, right? Let's say Rashid, for example. Rashid's toolkit is this one. This is a 4-framer. This is a 5. This is his 4-framer, also his light kick. This is 5 frames. This is 4 frames, right? So these are his buttons, right? Or his fastest options that he has, right? So let's say that he blocks this and then he goes for a light kick after 2 hits, and I do this, boom, it doesn't work. Boom, it doesn't work. Even from closer range, it doesn't work, right? And that's his longest ranging one. So let's say crouching light kick, which has still doesn't work. So it's some characters, against some characters, this will be very broken because they literally have no way to punish you. So use this in a matchup like this, where you realize that their light buttons are stubby. You can definitely abuse this. And also, the nice thing about this is that it also does have the same properties when it comes to like chip damage. So for example, if you do this, look at that, the exact same one full bar that you lose, right? Exact same one. And if you do this, the exact same thing, right? So you can use both and they will both do the exact same thing. Sometimes when I'm trying to just chip somebody to death, I would just do this, and remember, there's no gap also, so they can't really perfect parry this. They can't really DI this, so they have to take it, right? So this is something that's very, very strong. Sometimes you can also do what I told you before, is you can wait for the whiff punish, wait for them to respond with something, and then whiff punish that the exact same way you have demonstrated before. But again, I think this has a little bit less of a pushback. The medium Hashogeki definitely has less of a pushback. You can see that this connects, right? Or from here, right? So let's say that they go for something else. They go for a response of a crouching medium punch because they know they are very frame data heavy and they know that this is -6. So let me try a 6-framer, right? So as I said, that it's a little bit difficult to whiff punish, but if you use a light kick, you can. Hold up. You can do something like this. This is on reaction, and I can demonstrate this if my what is it called? My reactions will not fail me in this video. See this? It's on reaction. So you recover, or you react to the entire animation from startup all the way to recovery and whatnot, and you can do it with liking, right? Provided that you are in the right space. If you just wanna mash it, as we said before, you can do that. Right? Just like this. See that? You can just do it, or use a crouching medium punch. You get the idea, right? So you can do this. But the problem with this, as we said before, is that if they go for a crouching medium kick, you will get counter hit, provided that you are not in the perfect, the sweet spot space. So if you do it from here and you go for mashing, this, hold up, you see that you get counter hit, right? So I think it's a little bit better to just wait and see what happens. Better to just prepare the light kick, right? And you can get like a sweet punish, like maybe even without using drive rush, you can just get something like this. You get something that's free, or if you're closer to the corner, you can get like a pretty nice reward by just getting a safe jump from this, right? So this is like something that's very nice to do. So yeah, this is the video. This is, if you watch again, if you go back and watch Blaz's Ryu, you will see that he uses this a lot, specifically with the donkey kick. It's a very good tool to have. So yeah guys, this is the video. If you found this helpful, please leave a like, comment down below. Do you guys use this? Do you guys find it nice? Do you find it easy to implement? Is it difficult? Is it not? And I will, if you want more videos like this, let me know and I will definitely. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Take care.